Welcome to your 7th session. So you got this lesson left and then you have a class where we put all the exercises together. So today we're going to do some exercise for your shoulders and for glute muscles, but we're going to start first just rolling down in towards the floor. So place your feet and legs in front of you and then decide how you're going to come down, rolling to the side or coming into your roll back. I'm going to do a full roll back position. So I'm going to keep my legs stretched and I'm going to roll down in towards the floor, pushing the lower back into the floor, mid back shoulders, and then placing the head onto the cushion and arms down by your side. And then just bring the feet in, coming into your relaxation start position, arms down by your side. So we start first with hips and a bit of hip mobility and rotation. So I'm going to draw the rib cage in slightly. So we breathe out, feeling that little bit of a north position, pushing down through the abdominal muscles. And then I'm going to start with a knee roll. So the knees are going to roll to the side without the hip moving to start with. And then we roll the knees to the other side. Trying to keep the rib cage heavy and the back of the hips and the back of the head. So this is just to see how much range you have before the hip starts moving. So I'm just going to slide my knees out to the side and then slide over towards the other side. And then going straight into the hip roll with the knees separated. So knees and feet separated. Arms go wider. Knees starts the movement. Then the hip is coming along, moving. I'm pushing the hip into the floor, bringing the knees back. And the knees and hip moving. And then pushing the hip back, knees back. So I'm going to breathe out as I turn. So I'm using a bit of abdominal strength here. And then breathe in to return. So breathe out, turn. And then breathe in to return. So you start moving, you make it flow. And try not to let gravity just push those knees down. So I'm rolling onto the one on the inside of the foot. And then rolling onto the outside foot on the other foot. Now making sure that you find a pace that works for you. But again, don't add super speed. It's still controlled. And then back, roll out to the side, rolling back to center, relax those shoulders, back of the rib cage, heavy. And I'm going to change it into one more version, bringing the knees and feet together. So now everything is creating one unit, pressing the knees together. You can have something between the knees if you want to as well. So from here, I'm going to roll, pushing the hip off the floor, but keeping one foot connected as the other foot lifts. So knees and feet are connected, glued together. And then I'm rolling, so I'm breathing out to turn. Breath in, breathe out to turn. So now definitely abdominal strength, pulling in slightly. So the lower back is flattening just enough to the floor. So supported. And then roll. But the shoulder blade is not coming off the floor. Top of the shoulder is still soft. And the arms can be out to the side just to support you, pushing out to the side. Come back to center, push out to the side, and then come back. And we do one more, and then we go to shoulders and arms, which is then flies and arm circles. And then come back. So I'm just going to move down to make sure I've got space for my arms. Just check your arm range and see if you have enough space. So from here, bringing the arms up toward the ceiling. Now flies can be done with weights. So I'm going to curl my fingers. Imagine I've got weights, pushing the knuckles together. And the arms are going to create these half circle shapes. And then from here, check your hands and elbows on top of your shoulders, not on top of your face or too far down. And then we open the arms and then we're pushing the knuckles together. So heavy back at the rib cage and lift to the chin so you're not tucking in too much. It's nice and free around the chest. And then open and then push together. So like I said, can be used with weights, but for now, just check if it's happy shoulders. We push out to the side and then return. And just use your breath. Breathe in, breathe out to return. Let's do a couple more. Breathe out to return. And then from this one, we go straight into our arm circle. So I'm going to point the fingertips straight up from shoulders, elbows, and fingertips. And then taking the arms down by your side. They're going to hover off the floor as they go out. They're going to roll and turn the palms to get to your shoulders. And then bring the arms up. And then taking the arms back down again. So it's out to the side. Turn the palms, lift. And then push down. So whilst you're doing this, we breathe, still breath in. And then breathe out. And then push down. Change direction. Taking the arms behind you. Open up the arms, turn the palms so you get to your shoulders, and then come back, lift. Breath in, and then breathe out to rotate. Let's do one more circle. So the arms rotate into your shoulder girdle, keep them just off the floor. And then we take the arms down and go to our shoulder bridge prep. So we've done the spine curl, which is the roll, lifting up, pushing the knees away. Now we're going to lift the hips straight up and down from the floor. So it becomes a glute exercise. I'm going to remove the cushion, making sure that I've got space. I'm not tucking my chin in too much. Pressing the arms into the floor, feet and knees in parallel. Squeeze the buttocks, lift up 3/4 if you're happy with that. And then placing the hip back down. So there's a squeeze into the glute muscle, keeping the squeeze as you go down. And again, squeeze, lift. So we're doing the prep, which is finding range and checking what we're doing. So the feet, depending on where they are, makes a difference. If I'm bringing my feet in, I'm going to compress the knees, but I'm taking away the hamstrings that are underneath the knee. So there's a little bit less work for the legs, but I'm still pushing away towards the feet. And then tap down. So we can make it a bit harder for hamstrings, but a little bit lighter on knees, and keeping the feet and knees on top of each other. So there's still a turn of the pelvis and then a lift. So I'm not flaring the chest. I'm keeping the hips slightly turned towards it, pushing the knees away, and then placing the hip back down. So go to 3/4 if you have a happy back and happy hips to move full version. You're pushing up, you're squeezing, opening up the front of the hip. So stretched out, tailbone pushing towards your heels, and the chest is not flaring, pushing the knees away. And then you're placing yourself down into floor. It all depends on your strength of the muscles underneath and in front, and the stretch in front. So we push up 3/4 or full version as long as your chest is not flaring. And then place the hip down. Let's do 3 more. Squeeze into glute muscles. Keeping the squeeze as you go down. Hello muscles. Squeeze, lift, hold position. And then placing the hip back down. And then squeeze, lift. And then place the hip down. Now your stretches, we can do a stretch lying down, which is called figure 4. You can turn yourself towards the wall, it might be easier, or putting some blocks and cushions under your head when we do this. So one foot will go onto the opposite knee. I'm going to lift the other foot, I can slide it in towards me, making it a bit lighter. Use abdominal strength, breathe out, lift the heel, lift the toes, use your hands, bring the leg in, and you might feel a stretch here into your glute muscle. So we pull the knee in, and just stretching it slightly, we just worked it. Open up the chest and shoulders, long back of the neck, and then change side. Taking the foot down, place the foot onto the opposite knee, abdominal strength, lift the heel or glide it in, bringing the hands behind the knee. Remember, you can have blocks underneath your head, and just hold, and we stretch the back of the leg. And all we need to do is come out of here. So I did either roll to your side now into a transition move, or using what we just learned about legs and levers. Taking one leg down, bringing the hands behind the other knee. So I still need to find that north position of the spine. So lifting the head and shoulders, and then push the leg away so it's not too far in towards your chest. And then using your north position, breathe out, and then push up into a seated position. Great. And then we can practice those a few more times in all the sessions going forward.